Hi there, everyone. I am back to do a new flip through and planner setup in my A5. This is ever evolving for me, and I did one of these back in the spring. And even since then, some of my sections have changed, and I've found that I'm using some and not others, so I'm trying to adapt to it. So I thought I would just do a little update on how I'm using things today. So I still toggle back and forth between my Carpe Diem, the Platinum, and this one, which is the Filofax Nude. And at the moment, I just transferred everything into this Filofax Nude, just because I like to go back and forth sometimes, and just because the feel of it is so yummy. Um, so I'm still very happy with that. And I just made a new set of dividers in here, so you'll see the first of that when I open up. So this was just such a gorgeous paper from Illustrated Faith, and I was seeing it everywhere. It was in the Hip Kit Club, it was in other kits that I was seeing online, and it just was, I loved this floral. I actually just did another layout using smaller bits of this paper, but you just can't appreciate the floral when you use it in a smaller scale, so I really wanted to have a whole page and divider and use this She Blooms sentiment down here at the bottom because I think that that's appropriate for the opening page of my planner. So I really don't do decorating over here. I mean, this obviously the Filofax doesn't have the little pockets going this way. So I don't know, maybe if you guys have fun things that you do with these little things, I have no idea. Someone give me a recommendation. But I find that if I put things in here, they get like sort of snagged and bumped into my paper. So I literally just have a couple of pens. I don't do much decorating over there. So here are my new sections. My first section is called Inky Planner, which is my, my little handle on YouTube and Instagram. And so this is all things having to do with those two sites. So if I have design teamwork, or if I'm looking to create a new video or post something on Instagram and keep sort of a schedule, that's all in here. So I have, like, these are notes. After I've done a layout, I'll keep notes of all of the different stamp sets that I use so that when I write my blog post, it's in there. And I've shown you guys my creative calendar. These are the month on 2 pages from Julie over at Plan to Create. And I print these out and use these for my creative calendar. This one's a little sparse because, frankly, in the summer, I'm just not good at writing down all the little plans. And I really just sort of have like the deadlines, when I have assignments due or posts due or things like that for the various creative teams. And then I also have just some notes for ideas. If I have ideas for videos, I still have to do a Stamping 102 video that I have promised since spring and I haven't gotten to yet. So that's all that sort of stuff. I separated out from there things for my memory keeping and scrapbook. I was doing Project Life up until June, and then summer hit and everything fell apart. I love the concept of that, and I like the idea of sort of the real-time scrapbooking things as they happen. However, in our summer schedule, it's just not realistic. I don't live at home, so I don't have access to my supplies, and I can't work on things daily or weekly at all. It's really hard for me to keep up with that. So what I thought was I'll just jot down my stories on a regular basis so that they're fresh and they're the little things, sort of the in-between moments that make up the regular parts of our lives. And I'll keep track of them, and then I can come back and scrapbook them after the fact when I do my catching up in the fall and the winter. So, and then I also have a whole bunch of stuff from 2015 that I haven't gotten to yet either. So this is a pretty another pretty paper that I chose for a divider that has a sort of like a plus pattern to it. Real subtle. It sort of reads as a solid, like a lime green. Real pretty. And then my next section is the plan section. So this is from a previous set of dividers that I made with Felicity Jane papers, and I just liked how it went. Like if you look at the three of these, you've got this big bold floral pattern, and then you have this one that almost reads sort of as a solid, and then you have this nice tight small scale pattern, and they just look nice together. I like the pops of black, so I put it in here. These guys haven't been laminated yet. I will get to doing that, but I just haven't done that yet. But I stuck with sort of the same theme with the, large black tabs, and I just sort of thought that this went nicely, and I still needed a plan section, so it worked out just great. Just a note on the tabs, when I did these, I cut them out myself, and then again, a tip from Julie over at Plan to Create. She had found tab stickers at the Container Store. They come in this little handy like booklet type of thing, this holder, and they're all like tons. You can see kind of, if I do this with my fingernail, you can see there's tons of stickers. I don't know whether it's like 50 or something, I don't know how many, but of each color. So I thought they came in really nice color. I love that they were solid. They're nice and sticky across the bottom, and then they're not sticky across the top. So my plan is, what I did was just put these back to back, and you can see they're not stuck together at the top. So I'll put a little glue in there, and then when I laminate these, obviously that'll hold it together, and if I need to, I might even reinforce that a little bit with some packaging tape or something. But so thanks Julie at Plan to Create for that tip. So back to my plan section. This has just my general calendar. What starts out with some blank one-day pages, and these are my own design. It's a super simple, like not very decorative, but when I have a lot going on in a day and I'm just overwhelmed by how hectic it is, sometimes I need more space. So I take an entire page and I can literally break down my schedule hourly. I have lots more room for to-dos. I can write down every meal, snacks, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, track my water and things like that. So if I have a hectic day, I'll pull one of these babies out. I will move it back to my current week, and I will put down what's going on in my day. I rarely even do anything decorative. I just write it down, and then at the end of the day, rip it out and toss it. So this is just one of those lifesavers when I have a lot going on. And then I have, I'll flip over to my current week. So this is where I have all my, all the months of the year, and I keep usually about 3 or 4 months back, so I can, refer back as reference, and then I keep nothing forward other than the monthlies. I don't have any blank weeklies going forward. But I have a divider here. I'm not sure how well you can see this little just plastic divider. This actually came from, this is just a tip here, this came from the Carpe Diem line, and it's sold as a little divider that has Post-it notes attached to it, little sets of Post-it notes. And I didn't care about having the Post-it notes within my planner, so I peeled those all off and sort of rubbed off the little residue, and then this just became my current week divider, and it's really easy for me to find. The tab's always at the top, and I love that it is completely not intrusive on my view of the page. It's completely clear, there's nothing on it, so when I look at my page I can see everything that I need to see with nothing blocking at all. And all I did was put a little sticker, it just says enjoy today up at the top, but it's again very nondescript. So that's how I get very quickly to my current week. Again, like I said, I just have my blank months going forward, but I don't have any of my weekly inserts because I will put them in a month at a time. And then my next section, this paper, oh, it's just so pretty too. This section is notes, just general notes, and I had a section like this in my my previous setup, and it works. I was using it a ton, so that's why I kept it in. This is just anything and everything that I need to brain dump. Grocery lists, packing lists for the weekends when we go away, travel notes, I had a whole, oh, here's when I went camping. I was putting down things I needed for our camping trip. I had a whole section in here. I am revamping my craft room, and I'm hoping to do some before and after video footage of that. So stay tuned for that if you're interested in a tour. It's going to be a couple weeks before I get everything done, but I will try to do a tour, and I'm trying to do some before footage as well so you can see the madness. But I had just all kinds of things in here. It was a great spot to put dimensions of my room and measurements, and then I was kind of categorizing, like, okay, pieces of furniture that I thought I could keep and continue to use versus ones that were no longer working for me, and supplies that I needed to destash and hadn't touched in ages versus the things that I use, like, every single time I sit down. So just all kinds of thoughts so that when I go about reorganizing my craft room, hopefully it's well thought out, and it serves me well. So anyway, I wrote all that down in this nice section, and then when I went to the store, I popped it out and took it with me so that I didn't have to bring my whole planner in the store, and that's why it's not here anymore. But love this section. I use it all the time. The last section I have is a kids section, pretty pink diagonal, like paintbrush kind of stripes. And my kids are still young enough that I need to keep track of all their stuff. They're all in elementary school, and then the youngest is starting preschool. So this is, well, first of all, I have a list of things that go on in my community that are appropriate for preschool age kids, so that when we're looking for some activities to do, I've got some ideas. And then I have spots for the kids get passwords for all of their different, like, online, they have skills, things that they do on the web, or little math facts pages, and they have passwords for all that stuff. So I jot that in here. Contact information for room mothers and for coaches and for people that we carpool with to various things, and just all kid related stuff that's referenced back here. So that's what lives back in that little section. And then the Filofax came with this little notepad, which I will keep in here. Again, this is just like jot and go if I want to scribble something out and peel this paper out, but that's not necessarily very decorative. But that is it. That's sort of a very quick look at my current setup. I'm in love with this paper. There's so many pretty papers out there, but that one really caught my eye, and I knew I had to have that somewhere prominent. And very happy to be opening my planner and seeing this every morning. And if you have any questions or suggestions, or want to let me know how you set up your planner, please comment below, because I think we all can learn about it. I'm still learning. That's why mine has changed so dramatically from spring till now. In the springtime, I had a section for cleaning, and I'd made like a little cleaning checklist, and I was really good about it for a while. And then I found that I was never going back to it. Like, I had gotten into the habit of, the days that I was doing certain things around the house, and I just wasn't going back to it anymore. And, again, I don't need to have any extra stuff in here that isn't working for me. If it's not something that's useful for me, I don't want it bulking up the planner. So that section got the boot. I also had a section for clean eating, like healthy diet, and that might come back. I just frankly was so loose with that over the summer, just because we're constantly on the fly, and it's very difficult to plan meals, and we're eating impromptu all the time, and we're eating on the boat, and it's a terrible excuse, but I just did not do a great job following any sort of plan over the summer. So I'm hoping when our routine gets back in action and we're back in school with the kids, that I might get back to that. And if that's the case, then I may tuck that section back in, because then I have a nice convenient place to track what I'm doing clean eating wise, and the kinds of foods that I want to be able to choose from, and things like that. So but I know everybody has different ways to set up their planner, and I would love suggestions, or I always go check out other people's videos and comments about sections that they add, and see if any of it can be useful for me too. maybe there's something that I'm doing here that will work for you. So hopefully there was some inspiration, or at least you just liked seeing all the pretty colors and papers, because that's usually my favorite part. And that's it. Thanks for watching, as always. I hope that you enjoyed taking a peek through my A5 planner, and have a wonderful day.